Too many Americans see those with whom they disagree as the enemy, to be shunned, to be banned, to be ostracized, to be threatened with violence, or even to have that violence carried out. As with so many prior acts of violence, we right now see too many awful responses out there to this hideous attack on former President Trump. Responses that are part of this trend. That includes those who, without evidence, are blaming this act of violence on those with whom they have disagreements. We are praying for former President Trump's recovery today and praying for his family and for those victims of the attack. And we urge in the strongest possible terms that this election and all our political differences must be determined by ballots and votes, not by bullets, and that this rhetoric of dehumanization stop. Too many Americans see those with whom they disagree as the enemy, to be shunned, to be banned, to be ostracized, to be threatened with violence, or even to have that violence carried out. As with so many prior acts of violence, we right now see too many awful responses out there to this hideous attack on former President Trump. Responses that are part of this trend. That includes those who, without evidence, are blaming this act of violence on those with whom they have disagreements. We are praying for former President Trump's recovery today and praying for his family and for those victims of the attack. And we urge in the strongest possible terms that this election and all our political differences must be determined by ballots and votes, not by bullets, and that this rhetoric of dehumanization stop.
Hey everybody, and welcome to OT Views. My name is Toby. Today we're going to be looking at Sky News and their commentary on Donald Trump's assassination attempt and how CNN covered it. Honestly, this video is interesting. It opens your eyes to see that the left in America are hypocrites, especially when it comes to speech and violence. So let's go ahead and start watching the video.
It is a sad, sad day for America. It is hard to find the words to describe the shock and the horror that people are feeling right now, after many of us were witnessing on live television the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. This is a devastating day for America. Right now, people are pouring their hearts out on social media and posting "Pray for Trump." Many of the people I'm speaking with over there are feeling scared about how close this was. Looking at the still images, you can see the bullet that pierced his right ear as he gets up with blood smeared on his face.
Look what happened.
Damn. Those niggas had to move quick.
This horrific act has just deepened an already huge divide in the United States of America. But if you were following media outlets like CNN today, well, you would have thought that Donald Trump had a fall. Look at this headline. Secret Service rushed Trump off stage after he falls at rally.
You see? This is just petty by CNN, because I know they knew what happened, but they just didn't want to give this guy any type of attention or just his flowers or anything. That is crazy. What kind of headline is that? Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally? Like nobody heard the gunshots. Like nobody saw blood from his ear. Holy shit.
False. It was an assassination attempt. He's not Joe Biden that doesn't know how to stand up. And that's not a one-off headline. This morning, I was looking at my phone and I was taking screenshots because even though it's CNN, I still couldn't believe it. The next headline I saw, Trump injured in incident at rally. Incident. That's really what they wanted to go with when the man who's been president before and is running a incident.
You see, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that headline. Let's go back. He was injured at the rally. Now, they didn't mention the shooting, and I know she's probably going to say it was an assassination attempt and he was a past president, which is correct. I just don't think this headline is that bad. Again, pretty petty by CNN, but I don't think it's that bad.
An incident at rally. Incident. That's really what they wanted to go with when the man who's been president before and is running again was just shot. Oh, and there's more. Video captures what happened at Trump rally that left him injured. Ooh, wonder what it could be. CNN is using the video as
Shorty's
clickbait
funny.
while refusing to acknowledge what it is that just occurred, and that is an attempt to murder the man who is running for president. Something that has not happened since 1981, when there was an assassination attempt on Republican President Ronald Reagan. I scroll further down CNN's website and I get to analysis, and of course there's this headline: Trump is favoured, but Biden can still win this election. Well, I really doubt that. But let's leave CNN for now. I have more to say about their coverage in a moment because it actually gets worse. And let's look at some of the other reaction we are seeing today. And remember, America is right now feeling the weight and the heartbreak of what has unfolded today. But Colorado Democrat Stephen Woodrow posted on X, "The last thing we need was sympathy for the devil, but here we are."
Okay, so I gotta point something out. This is so ridiculous. As someone who's a representative, first off, this is so immature. Second of all, where's your humanity? Someone was literally just shot at. Now, you may dislike Donald Trump, but the humane thing to do is to ask if he's okay and even send out prayers. But to say the last thing America needed was sympathy for the devil, but here we are. Bro, you're a representative. What are you doing? People look up to you. And if that was a Republican that said something like that, I know this guy's dumbass would have come up and said, "Oh, how can he say something this terrible? How can he say something this bad?" I don't know, man. Just looking at politics today, I think one thing that's really lacking is just mutual respect, humanity, something that's really lacking in today's politics. Man, I don't know if it's social media or if it's just clickbaits or it's just, I really don't know, but this is just unacceptable and a really big shame on this guy.
Really classy. You know, comments like that are expected from troll accounts, but politicians, well, it really gives us an insight into how dark and how ugly some of the thinking and some of the attitudes are, and also how much hate there is for Donald Trump. So let's look at what some of the Democrats have said in the past. Have they ever called for political violence?
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. He would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Sure you would.
Some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the...
And you see, okay, I'm sorry, but this is all crazy. And like I said in the beginning of this episode, Democrats, the left, they are humongous hypocrites. Someone tried to assassinate the former president of the United States. And when you see all these videos now, let's say the roles were reversed and something like that happened to Joe Biden, and CNN played all these clips. Number one, everybody in the whole world is gonna say, all Republicans do is call for violence, that Republicans are dangerous, that Republicans don't have what America's best interest at heart. But me watching this, where is the Democrats and the left calling out the hypocrisy of violence on their side? Why is it only geared towards one party? Both parties do it. And honestly, for me, I feel like it comes more from the left side, from the Democratic side, than more comes from the Republican side. And I'm not part of the left or the right. I'm not a liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat. I'm just independent. But I'm gonna call out bullshit when I see bullshit. And this is complete bullshit. There should be no way that one group of people should be allowed to say all this stuff about another organizations or a group of people. I've heard stuff that MAGA are racist. Donald Trump is a Nazi. He's Hitler. He wants to destroy the world. You guys got to stop with all this. This is actually madness. Because when you say this kind of stuff, all you're doing is raising the temperatures that are already high in this political environment. But let's see what they have to say.
The Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated. I will go and take Trump out tonight.
It is just disgusting. Now back to CNN, because according to them, despite surviving an assassination attempt, there's no legitimate threat to Donald Trump.
Donald Trump and the people around him perceive themselves to be under threat, and that's all that matters. That is not legitimate. That is wrong.
What do you mean that's not legitimate? That's wrong. Someone done shot at the guy, and you see his ear bleeding, and you're telling me he shouldn't be in fear for his life? Oh my God. Yo. Oh man. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, and here's more CNN coverage complaining about how Trump reacted seconds after someone tried to kill him.
I do want to say there was one thing that when I watched the tape, I found odd because of all of the heated rhetoric. And that is that after he was hit, former President Trump got up and said, fight, fight, fight. I think what we're hearing from people is that's not the message that we want to be sending right now. We want to tamp it down.
Now, we all know that those comments are going to come at some point. Let's find a way to criticize or even blame Donald Trump when we analyze how he was almost murdered on stage. But those comments came even faster than expected, just hours after he was attacked and while he was still recovering in hospital. There is no question that this is such a scary time for America right now. The people I've been speaking to say that they are scared after what they have witnessed and also what the future holds. But after today, I suspect we are going to see a lot more support for Donald Trump. We're seeing this already. Billionaire Elon Musk posted on X today, "I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery." Despite all the hate in the world and even an assassination attempt, Donald Trump is not giving up.
Wait.
Now I do gotta say something. That right there, man, hate him or love him, that was amazing what he did. He didn't show a sign of weakness when someone tried to take his life. And especially his opponent, Joe Biden, where people are talking about that he's frail, that he's not energetic. We can't say the same thing about Donald Trump. Someone shot at you, instead of being fearful and trying to get out, you raised your hands, you showed that fist pump, and you said, fight, fight, fight. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, that shit got me riled up. All my other niggas are sending me photos of that exact pose. Holy, that shit's about to be a meme. But even forget about that. I don't see a way for Joe Biden to win this election. What Donald Trump did right there just proves why people really love him. Like I said, I'm not even American, so I can't vote. But I can say that seeing this video and seeing at the end how he just he did a fist pump and he said, fight, fight, fight. He's a warrior. That's all I'm gonna say. He's a warrior. For someone to be able to survive for that long, for someone to be able to survive after something like that and not worry about and not be overcome by their fears, it says a lot. Shit.
This is the latest from authorities in the US.
It's that the FBI stands with the people above their...
Okay. So guys, from this video, my honest opinion, my honest take, Sky News is right. CNN, first off, the way they covered it, it's not a big deal, but it was garbage. Because we know if it was, on the other hand, Joe Biden, those headlines would have been much more drastic, much more severe. To that senator or that representative that said something like that, he's a goofball. This is a human life at the end of the day. I don't know why you're saying something like that. And to the people on the left, I really hope this is kind of like a warning, both left and right. But I'm speaking towards the left because they don't get called out for the same thing that they blame Republicans doing. And that's dangerous. Because like I said, from that video and from what I've seen, a lot of people have called for violence through their words. And me, I don't believe that I don't believe that words are violent. Free speech is free speech, but if you're gonna call it for one side, you have to call it for the same side. You can't just pick and choose when you want to reprimand somebody or when the same reprimanding comes back to you. So overall, Sky News is right. And I think that the temperatures really need to cool down on a political aspect I'm not American, but if you want America to heal. Because right now, the way it's headed is a deep divide. An assassination attempt, and the kid who did it was like 20 years old. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in for this episode. And there's going to be much more videos going forward. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I want to hear your thoughts.